Hi and welcome to Vox Singing Academy's video podcast number 33. Okay.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good for the first time. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this channel, please subscribe. You'll get a little bing in your pocket, like a little pocket mosquito.
What?
And if you have any questions, please inbox us. Emily, I'm trying to focus. Please inbox us. We'll answer any questions here on YouTube or Facebook or Insta. We'll be sure to get back to you. If you have a fantastic question, we might even make a Vox Singing Academy, Ask Vox Singing Academy YouTube segment especially for you. Thanks for coming in today. Em, how you doing?
Still alive. Yourself?
Fantastic. Have you had a good week?
Yes, so many new students and people just stepping up to things. Hi Rosario from Sydney, she's been talking to us on Instagram for a while now, finally took a plunge and started her online singing lessons. And I've had a wonderful new senior gentleman who used to be a tenor in a choir when he was young, and now he just sings for fun. So he comes with his family. I think
Rosario's just turned 12 as well too. I think she was 11 when I was speaking to her a little while ago.
She's almost 12.
Ah, she's still 11?
Yes, almost 12.
Fantastic.
Sings C3 like there's no tomorrow, like such a beautiful contralto. 11 years, incredible. Yes, and what else is happening? So much is happening, you guys. I'm still teaching in Carnegie on Friday. Carnegie.
Yes.
Where am I putting the stress in this word? Carnegie.
I don't know.
Or Carnegie. How do you say it correctly?
Australian, it's Carnegie.
Carnegie. Well, I'm an Australian now, by the way.
Yes.
Just had my
Congratulations, Emily is now an Australian citizen, so she's here to stay.
Australia, fan and arms rejoice, for we are young and free. This is what I was doing literally at the ceremony, because it was so boring, an hour of speeches and like 120 people taking the pledge, and also about 100 people as guests.
Wow.
So
where was that at? Melbourne Town Hall?
It was in St Kilda Town Hall.
Ah!
Yeah.
Beautiful town hall.
Such a beautiful space,
Beautiful.
but nevertheless still incredibly boring sitting through an hour of speeches. So in the end I just let it go, and people were very confused about what's happening.
Did you see the national anthem at the grand final?
No. Who was singing it?
No idea, didn't watch it. Didn't watch the pre-game entertainment.
Well, maybe they should get us to do it.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe.
Hey, you guys, if you're the ones that do grand final.
Yes.
Yeah.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free. Okay, that's how I'm going to sing it. Anyway, let's keep it going. I have the lovely Emily here, Russian-born, career spanning more than 20 years, done a lot of recording, a lot of performing, producing, and also teaching. Has been asked numerous times to come back to Celtic Illusion to be their main singer. Was asked again this year.
But I can't, because I'm old and fat and sick and...
Vocalist, pianist, music theory, composer, has won numerous Vox Employees of the Month. Vocal influences go from folk, theatre, pop, all the way through to death metal. Have been on too many recordings to mention, productions and collaborations.
Did you actually print this out?
I did. So that
Oh my god!
Because it's too long to remember. I'm good, but not that good. Let's get stuck into this topic anyway.
Yeah,
okay.
And this is Pete. He's my boss.
Okay, we are going to be talking about the 5 tips to a successful live singing performance. Okay, so let's start with number 5. Preparation. Very, very, very important. Now, if you're only singing one song, you may only want to prepare a week or two beforehand. But if you're touring, a lot of my touring guys will start to prepare for their tours months in advance. Okay, so preparation and practice is the key to an amazing performance. That's really so important. And starting off with everything basically. So first start with the most important points, which is learning the song or your songs inside and back to front, because that's really what people are there for, is to hear you perform and to do the song to the best of your ability. So that is the number one point you always want to focus on. Learn the lyrics, get the song down, make sure that you're singing in pitch, key all the way through, and you're feeling great with it. But really everything else needs to be rehearsed. And then I'm talking about, that's why we even have dress rehearsals for bands and theatre productions, so that you know what is going to be prepared or you need to prepare for on the night. If you have to have a costume change, or you have to put makeup on, you have to be there in an X amount of time beforehand so that you can be relaxed and you can go and do all that. Then practicing everything from walking up on stage. You might have to walk upstairs or downstairs or whatever it is. So make sure that you're practicing that, holding the microphone, walking to the stage, practicing your introduction as well too. It's a big part of a singer is interacting with the crowd. Practice what you're going to say to the crowd. Okay, very important. Make sure that you're always changing the city. If you're touring every night, make sure you know what city you're going to be speaking to, because I've seen some recordings where the person has said the wrong city. But anyway, rehearsing everything from start to finish, it's so important that we do that. Okay, I can't recommend and always preparing in advance. Okay, give yourself more time. You don't want to be rushed the night before the performance, cramming it in like a university assignment that you've got to hand in the next day. It's not going to happen. So try to give yourself lots of time and rehearse. And you normally see even the more bigger amateur theatre productions like Clock, they're generally, they start rehearsals 6 months before a production. So it's very important. When do you start for Celtic Illusion? Do you have you obviously have a new script and a new play coming up, or a script? How long do you start, or do you recycle some of the old material?
Well, with Celtic Illusion, it's a little bit different, because it's mainly it's a combination of Irish dancing and magic. So imagine that the river dance and David Copperfield had a beautiful baby. Like, it's this crazy, it's amazing. There are people flying, changing costumes in a second, like a whole cast is like in all different costumes in a second. So there's a lot of magic happening, and my job there, so I'm about to address this, is to just let dancers breathe, basically. I don't work with the show anymore. It's still a big part of my life. I'm still friends with all of my former castmates and technical team, sound engineers and musicians and tour managers, and everybody's so lovely to me. And when you prepare for a show where you have to sing 5 songs spread apart, usually with about 10 to 20 minutes space between them, it's a bit easier than when you have to do a whole show by yourself in terms of preparation for the show, because basically you just need to learn 4 songs and you need to make sure that you can sing them to a good quality. The things that are unexpected, though, that were unexpected to me, is that literally 3rd or 4th show that I did with the production, it was Her Majesty's Theatre, and that was pretty nerve-wracking, and it was also being filmed. So that was a lot of pressure, but the fact that I knew the pieces inside out kind of carried me through a lot of those nerves. And practicing your gestures, literally what you do with every note. So you need to know what you will be doing next up on stage. So exactly what Peter was talking about. If you didn't think of that in advance, you will start improvising on stage and it may not end up well. For example, falling into an orchestra pit in blackout and
Yes.
breaking your wrist. Ask me how I know. So whatever you're doing on stage, vocally or physically, you have to know exactly what you're doing and when, and you need to have been practicing it. Time-wise,
Yes.
how do I put it? When I just started singing professionally, like 20 years ago, with the first production, a different one, I was freaking out. I was cramming. I was doing only 3 songs in a show, and I was learning them for half a year. Like,
So 6 months before the
yeah,
production.
I've had a big heads up, and it was like I literally had to do nothing else. Well, I did work with other bands at the time, but it was good that I've had this giant head start, and I knew which songs will be, had all instrumentals prepared, like had the time to practice with musicians. So if you have a lot of time before your production, if you have like 2 months before you hit rehearsals, learn your stuff straight away. Don't think, oh, I still have 2 months. No, you don't. Tomorrow you already don't have 2 months. Tomorrow you have 1 month and 3.5 weeks. In a week you have 1 month and 3 weeks. So that's not a good mindset. I still have so much time left. Your mindset is, okay, I know what I need to do. I'm starting now. That's it. And use all the time that you have.
Though, what about the full production, like rehearsing with everyone, so you know how the show runs from start to finish?
Yeah.
How many weeks or months did you guys start rehearsing before you did what we call full production rehearsal?
Full technical run. Okay, so with Celtic Illusion, it's a slightly different story because all dancers learn their parts, and not everybody's in the same city. It's an international cast, and everybody literally learns their parts from videos, including those videos that we took in Her Majesty's, or videos in rehearsals, or videos that the producers of the show put out specifically for learning purposes. So the dancing, you need to know your parts before you come to a complete dance rehearsal. Usually when the tour starts, the dancers would do it separately from me. Like the illusions will be practiced on their own, the dancers would do it on their own, and they will usually be flown a couple of days in advance to a city where the tour starts, and they would have, if they're lucky, a couple of days, like full work days, to go through the show multiple times to polish things. Then the next day they would be able to do another full day of setup and tech run and costumes adjustments in the theatre.
Dress rehearsal?
Dress rehearsal usually is something when everybody is already in the city, and the dress rehearsal usually happens on the day of the first show.
Yep.
With everyone in. But this is when everybody already knows their parts.
Yep.
When all the costumes are adjusted. So the 3 components, the magic, the dance and the music, we all rehearse separately with our own teams, and then we have one joined dress rehearsal before the first show.
So it's different because you're using an international cast.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Okay. All right. But the main thing is, let's keep it moving here, is be prepared and make sure that you know everything that you're going to be doing. Doesn't matter whether it's a theatre production or you're doing one song, make sure you know what you're going to be singing, how you're going to be walking up on stage, where the mic is, what you're going to be saying to the crowd, if you're going to be saying anything to the crowd at all. So
if something is not clear what you're doing, ask. That's literally your job, to know what you're doing. If somebody didn't tell you something, if they assumed that you should know and you don't know whether you're coming stage right or stage left, or you have to be lowered down on a, I don't know, flaming swing, whatever. You need to talk to if it's a production, talk to your stage manager. There is a special person whose task it is to make sure everybody is on stage at the right time, and so on and so on.
Or even taking it back smaller, if you're doing karaoke, asks whoever's ever running
whoever's running the karaoke, ask them, Can like I have a keyboard. Do you have a stand there at the venue?
Yeah.
Or my guitar doesn't have a pickup. Can I play it acoustically?
Yeah.
Like, will there be a mic? Will there be two mics to mic up my voice and my guitar? So think ahead. Think a couple of steps ahead, and always ask questions. Stay in touch with people.
Yep. Fantastic. Let's move to the next point, which is point 4, and it is make sure that you have 110% confidence in your abilities when you're going up on stage.
Yes.
Okay. So what I mean by this is that make sure that you know the song inside out, back to front, but you can hit all of the notes. There is nothing more nerve-wracking than going up on stage, and I've done it before. We're going, well, this song's too high, or I'm sick, or whatever it is, and I'm just going, I pray to God that I can sing this song today. We don't want to be praying to God that you can sing the song. We want to be able to know that you can sing the song under any situation,
Yes.
whether you haven't had any sleep, whether you've had gastro, whether you're got a cold or a flu. You can sing the song in any situation, so make sure you've got yourself prepared 110%. I tell all my touring guys that are touring, what's going to happen if you've got a cold or a flu? What are you going to do? Because you can't stop and go and come back and do the show again. Okay, we're going to tune down a semitone or a tone or whatever it is that we need to do to make sure that we can do the show. Oh, instead of singing the high notes in true voice, we're going to do it in falsetto instead. You've got to have a plan A, B, and C with what you're going to be doing. Okay, so it's very important. But the big thing is make sure that you have confidence so that you can deliver what you're wanting to deliver in a great way. So you've got to practice your scales, practice your songs, practice in front of the mirror, in front of your friends, parents, audiences. I was reading the Rolling Stones, before they start their tour, they always play 2 or 3 club shows, small club shows that they release to their fan page only on Facebook and their fans on their website. So it's very limited, and they only release the tickets on the night, and they go underneath another name. But they still play a couple of club shows before they start their huge big tours. That's the Rolling Stones. Every tour they do that. So knowing your confidence, know that you can sing all the notes comfortably all the way through, so that you can give the best song and performance that you possibly can.
Yeah, and if you think, oh my God, I take this note half the time, how will it be 50-50 up on stage?
Can't be.
Here's it quick. Yeah, that's the
It's gotta
answer.
be
You are
100%.
not ready. If it's 50-50, you are 50% ready. You will not be eating something that's 50% cooked. Imagine coming to a restaurant and wanting in salad, and people just bring you like half the salad and no dressing, and it's not seasoned, and half the components are missing, and they're like, well, it was 50-50. Chef was not like, it's just how the cards fell, you know. You paid for it, but that's a 50%. Don't put your audience into this situation.
More so, don't put yourself in that situation, because that's like just going to be anxiety that's going to be hanging over your head. So as I said, before you go up on stage, okay, I'm going to sing this high note falsetto tonight because I'm not feeling it. I didn't get any sleep last night. I had we had flights, whatever it is. Do it in falsetto. Let's tune the song down so it's easy to sing. So yes, always be
throw this note to your backup singers or to your bandmates, to somebody who can sing. Just let somebody else do it. Like even in Queen, Freddie was not the one singing the highest notes, right?
in harmonies. Yes.
Yes.
The drummer.
Roger was singing the highest note. Am I like sorry? I'm sorry.
Roger Taylor.
Yeah. So
he
I'm
did the high harmonies.
Yeah. So I have such giant brain farts. So in the Bohemian Rhapsody, he has this A♯5 for me. So this big note. And it's Roger Taylor who sings this, not Freddie. Freddie constantly sang a little bit lower. So it doesn't matter.
You sound like an Australian. Doesn't matter.
Well, I probably need to
Con
get
the
some...
fruiterer. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll talk about some Australian accent lessons with you in the future.
Yes, we have to do that. Firstly, watch Con the Fruiterer from the Comedy Company. Okay.
Yeah, so don't get hung up on high notes, seriously. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. only people who cares about it is those YouTubers who put out compilations of compilation of the highest notes, Beyonce versus Mariah, who did it better, like snooze fest. It's so boring, and if people have nothing better to do, then you go and do that, and productive people should be improving themselves and practicing and getting 110% confident in their abilities.
Exactly. Fantastic. Yes. Alrighty. Point number 3. Get to the venue early and remain calm. That's a really big thing. So this is important, especially if you're performing, because you can always get distracted and people will distract you or build you up saying, how you feeling? And you go, oh, I'm feeling a bit nervous, and this makes you feel more nervous. Get to the venue early, remain calm, make sure that you leave adequate time to warm up, which we're going to talk about in the next point. But getting to the venue early so that you know where the toilet is, you know where the change rooms are, you know where you've got to warm up. Maybe there is no green room or backstage, so you're going to have to warm up in a toilet cubicle or a car or in an alleyway, and it's been done, don't worry, everyone does it.
Absolutely, yeah.
I've warmed up in all of those places, so don't feel that you can't do that, and who cares what other people think. But get to the venue early so that you're nice and relaxed, and you know where everything is, so that we're not rushing to get up on stage. But that's very important.
Yeah, so another important point, if you're on time, you're late. Why? Because when you are on time, it means that you should be already starting to do something. Let's say your sound check is at 4. Think about other things that you need to do before your sound check. Do you need to
warm up?
Do you need to warm up? Do you need to steam out your costume? If you're a female singer or a male singer who has to do hair and makeup, will you have enough time for that? Do you have to do it yourself? Will be there somebody who's going to be helping you? Will you need to talk to the sound engineer in advance if you have some specific gear, if you have some harmonizer, if you have some loop pedals, if you have like a voice processing setup that you need to make sure will be working? So think about all of those technicalities and things to leave time for, because when you are due for a sound check, all of that already has to have happened.
Yep.
Did I say right?
Yes. But even reverse engineering that as well too, guys. Going back to if you're doing karaoke or you're doing an open mic night, same. Get there early so you know the venue. Find out who's running the open mic night or karaoke, whatever it is, and so that you know when you're going to perform, so you can warm up properly before you go and do it. Even if we're playing, karaoke to one person or an open mic night on a Tuesday night to one person, same. Get to the venue a little bit earlier so that you're prepared, you're relaxed, and you can have fun and enjoy your performance. Because that's really what it's about. You want to have fun and enjoy it as well too, because there's no bigger high than doing a performance and coming off stage going, whoa, that was a lot of fun, that was great. There is no natural, it's a fantastic high, it really is, and everyone gets that. It's a performance high, it's like a jogger's high as well too, so it's fantastic, and we do want it to make it fun, so get in there early, preparing, and then moving. Anything else you want to say about that point, Em? Because we'll move to the next one.
Yes, because it's also important to look after your bandmates and castmates. So knowing that you will taking care of yourself, you know that you're looking after yourself, you're fit, you've eaten enough, you're drinking enough, you've had enough sleep, you've had all your shit set up, bleep me out or not.
Beep.
Beep. Yes, somebody's backing up into my face. Help people around you that will be, because they will be backing you up when you're up on stage singing. Make sure that they can also do their job. There will be some times when you will not be up to scratch 100%, when you will be sick, when you will forget your pants, when things will happen, it will never be ideal. Ideal days are very rare. I've had maybe 5 shows in 30 years that ran with no absolutely perfectly. And this minding the fact that everybody was prepared 100%, always something unexpected may happen. So make sure that you help your other you help your team out. Make sure that you're looking after your. If you see that your bass player is a bit down in the dumps and like I don't know, just something's happening, go have a chat with them, support them, have some coffee with them. You know, just be a nice human, basically.
But number one point though as well too, I don't want to turn this around onto a selfish thing, but make sure that you're ready to go.
Yes.
Okay? You're the number one. You want your performance to be great. So you see bands backstage and they're all doing their own thing. Bass players warming up, drummers warming up, a vocalist is warming up. They're all doing their own thing. So make sure that you take care of yourself firstly. It's like when the when you're in an aeroplane and they say in case of emergency, put the oxygen mask on yourself firstly. You don't put it on your child or your loved one. It's take care of yourself, because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of someone else.
Yep, and this is why I said make sure that you are prepared 100% yourself first.
Yes. Okay. Yes, let's keep going. Okay. Point number 2, warm up. Okay, it's very important for your voice, but everything, every instrument, you should do a bit of a warm up before a show. But as we know, your voice is a physical instrument, so we want to make sure that you warm up, even just doing some light scales or some humming backstage if you're just doing karaoke or an open mic night. But if you're doing something more professional, make sure you're going through your whole warm up before your sound check and your show. It's very, very important because we want to make it to the end of the show or the end of the performance really, really well. If you're doing a long performance, we don't want to be fatiguing. Make sure we've got enough stamina. So warming up your voice is very.
But I'm too shy to warm up in front of other people.
Bad luck. You know, it's just something. I don't care.
But what do I do? There are people around. How do I warm up? I don't have any privacy.
Go into the car, go into a toilet cubicle, go into an alleyway, go into a rooftop, go into a side room. I don't care where you go. Go somewhere and warm up, put the headphones on. There is always a space to warm up in, okay? There always is. And even if there's not, do it in the hallway. Guys, I have got a YouTube clip on. I don't know what YouTube channel it is, but it is exclusive backstage footage of the Butterfly Effect. Glenn, the bass player, and the lead singer Clint warming up backstage. Now there's no green room, and they're both warming up together. So Clint is warming up in the backstage green room area, and Glenn is warming up in the hallway. Basically next to the kitchen of this venue, and you can see the footage of both of them warming up because otherwise they'll be disturbing themselves. But they're both warming up right before the show, and Glenn's in the hallway doing his stuff, and Clint's in the rehearsal room doing his stuff. And we were there, and there were people walking around, and backstage guests. Johnny Farnham was actually back there as well too that night, around there, and they didn't care what was happening. They were just doing what they're doing. It's just part of what we do. Just get used to it. Do you know what I mean? So,
nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah, really don't care. Really, it's a really big thing to have self-awareness and don't care about and accept yourself the way that you are. Don't care about what anyone else thinks. You know, I'm lucky with that. So.
Very lucky.
I really don't give a beep about anyone. Beeps about me. Okay, let's keep it moving. The number 1 point, okay, for a successful live singing performance is practice makes perfect and rehearsals. So we have already gone over about preparation, okay, but that's getting prepared, learning the lyrics. But practicing and rehearsing exactly what you're going to be doing right up to the day of the show. It's very, very important we do this, especially learning lyrics. Memory retention happens in 24 hours. So right before the performance, especially practicing every day right before the performance, is super, super duper important. It's really important. I'm performing for a friend's birthday shortly, and I'm rehearsing most days. I'm doing another keynote speech at a festival here, and I'm starting to run through that already, and where I'm 5 weeks out from that already, so I'm starting to prepare that now already. So it's very important. Practice makes perfect. Rehearsals, and that's all I can basically say. Practice, walking up on stage. Also be prepared as well too for if something goes wrong. Like if you're playing guitar, if a string breaks, what are you going to do? Okay, great. Make sure you got another set of strings, or you got another guitar, or whatever it is. Or this is something that we really want to prepare. Tip I really want to give to everyone is if you're a vocalist and you're singing the night before a show or in sound check on the day of the show, Don't overdo it. Make sure you warm up. We don't want to fatigue your voice right before the show if you've got a big show. But even if you're doing karaoke as well too, don't sing too much on the day if you want to have a good karaoke performance or an open mic night as well too. Yes, rehearse during the day, but don't overdo it. Remember, your voice is a muscle, and it's like going jogging. You can fatigue, and if I go for a long jog now for an hour, if I try to go for another jog in another 2 hours, I'm not going to be able to jog for as long. So same with your voice, guys. It's very important. But practice, practice, practice.
And another tip with the practice learning the songs too. Not just practice the songs that you will be performing, but also the songs that you will not perform, but just might. For example, this year,
it's always good to do other songs to make things fresh as well too. Like just going through the same songs for a rehearsal and a performance. Do some other things just for the fun of it.
Yeah. So this year I have a new thing happening. I'm learning one song every week because I work so much. I can't learn one song in a day because it's a lot of time. But I'm trying to learn a new song every week, and all in different genres. Right now I'm working on old school jazz and learning some Julie Andrews this week. So and Julie London, and basically working through the alphabet. So I find that this skill of learning the songs is a separate thing in and of itself. The more of songs you get under the belt, the more of songs you get into your brains, the better you can figure out the way that it works for you the best, specifically, how to do it. And sometimes, very often, you have to sub. Like subbing is substituting for somebody else who's had an emergency or got sick or didn't get into a city on time. Sometimes you have to do this. And having this background, massive knowledge of a giant amount of songs may just save somebody else's show, somebody else's band, and being this person who knows a lot of stuff in different genres basically creates a better you. You are a way more rounded singer. You are able to cater to wider audiences, and it makes, if you are an original songwriter as well, it still makes you a better songwriter because you have so much musical information into your head. It rubs off. If you learn, think about, you learn 5 fantastic songs or you learn 50 fantastic songs, right? 54 weeks, 52. How many weeks are in a year? I don't know. If you learn 5 songs in a year or if you learn 50 songs in a year, what will do you better good?
But just taking that back as well to make sure that we're focusing on the main point, which is the performance that you're doing. Okay, so learn the songs that you're going to be performing up on stage. It's very, very important that we just stay focused on that. Learn other songs for the skill and to make it fun, to make it fresh, but make sure you focus on the songs that you're going to be performing up on stage.
Well, but there are different types of performing up on stage, right? So there's bands, there are musical theatre, there are multidiscipline productions like Cirque du Soleil or whatever, or the above mentioned Celtic Illusion or something else, and variety shows and so on. So think about the genre that you are working in, and think about your network that you are working in, your friends, bands, and their material as well. So obviously knowing your material is super important, but also I know somebody who learns a song or two of a band that is on the same bill as they are, so that they can
come up on stage,
so that they can do a duet together or to sing instead of a singer who might need a break. It's a great idea. So find out what works for you. Don't get just stuck on your own material. Your own material comes first. Absolutely. it's like the most important, like it's the most important leg of your table, but you need other legs under your table too. If you get bored of your own material, I don't know how Leonard Cohen was singing this. Oh God, what is this song?
Hallelujah.
Yes. How many times he sang this one? I don't know.
And it's got, I think,
Like 1,000?
The
5,000?
original version's got 7 verses, I think.
It's just nuts. Think how many times a professional singer has to perform the same song over and over and over, and to keep it emotionally fresh and wanting to come back to it. Don't let yourself get stuck only on your own material. Yeah, do something for fun too.
There we go. Excellent. And let's wrap it up here, okay? So let's just recap the 5 tips to a successful live singing performance.
Number 5.
Preparation. Make sure you're preparing weeks or months in advance, depending on what the production that you're doing and the length of songs that you're doing. But preparation is the key to a successful performance.
Number 4.
Make sure that you have 110% confidence in your delivery of the songs. If you're not confident in a note or two, change the key, but make sure that before you get up on stage, you're 100% confident with what you're about to deliver up on stage. So there is always plan A, B, and C.
Number 3.
Get to the venue early and remain calm.
Number 2.
Warm up your voice so that you can give the best vocal performance.
And number 1.
Practice and rehearse your whole show, exactly what's going to be happening, and also some other songs as well too, just for fun. That's pretty much it.
That's it.
Thanks for coming in, Em. Hope you enjoyed this. If you like it, please subscribe so you get a little bing in your pocket.
Bing, 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 bing.
If you have any questions, always inbox us and we'll be more than happy to get back to any questions regarding singing. No personal matters, just singing, and we'll answer any questions. Thanks for watching, guys. Be good to each other, and we'll see you on the next episode of we'll see you on the next podcast of Vox Singing Academy.
It talks
We're going to leave that in there.